In today's video, I'm going to show how to build application using the Redux, and we will use Flutter, a cross-platform framework for our application. Okay, firstly, let's talk about the Redux. What is Redux? Okay, ignore this part. Just ignore this. Redux is a library for predictable and maintainable global state management. What it says, like, assume we have an application and there should be one global state that responsible for whole application, how to behave, how to manage, dispatch actions, use correct services, and etc. Yeah, it has a lot of benefits, but the main four of them is predictable, it's centralized, like undo, redo, and state persistence, and also it's debuggable, easy to debug. You know which action is currently dispatching, so you may spend very less time for debugging, and it's flexible. You can use on the web applications, mobile application, desktop, which with any UI layer. Okay, yeah, it's a large ecosystem. Let's build a simple application. We will use Flutter. Okay, Flutter is a cross-platform framework. You can run in any platform like desktop, web, mobile, iOS, and Android with one code. Yep, it has a documentation. If you're new on Flutter, you just click on get started and choose your system, like Windows if you are Windows, or macOS if you are using the macOS, and just go through the steps. It's really easy. Firstly, you need to install Flutter itself, and then we need configure Xcode and install here simulator. We need simulator to run here. This is my simulator running. I already installed and I already have a Flutter. You can always check. Just open your terminal and type Flutter version, and it will say the version of the Flutter installed currently. Okay, let's build simple application. For this, just firstly create directory. Let's make dir and lesson 1 Redux, and enter to this directory lesson 1 Redux. Okay, we have entered. Now we need to create application in Flutter. For Flutter has a boilerplate application, like starting point. We can say sample application, like it's a counter. Let's just create this Flutter create my app, and just a little, and we have already created. Now we need to enter this application, my app. Now in order to run this Flutter application, just type Flutter run and hit to enter. Wait a few minutes, I guess, because it's a initial build and it's building by the first time, and we need to wait a little more. But after second and third builds, it will take less time. Let's go to Visual Studio and open the application. Okay, folder, we have lesson 1 Redux, my app, and just open it. Okay, it's building. This is a just simple application. when you type Flutter create something like any like my app, counter or anything, it will create this kind of application. This is it, like we can say starting point. Yeah, this is a running part, like void main and run app. From here it will run the app. You can change my app to anything, like as you wish. Okay, what it does, it has a title here, and here it has a counter, like with a state. Every time when you, here's the button, floating action button. Every time when you click button on press it, and on press it, it will call the function here and set state and counter plus plus. By one, it will update the value of counter by one, like first will be 0, and then one press it will be 1, second time press it will be 2, like this. We don't need this comments, just delete. Okay, yeah, we have app running here. Click on button, yeah, it will increment. Now, how we can implement or add Redux to our application? Let's assume we have this kind of counter application and we need to dispatch actions, and we need to create one global state to manage the whole application process. For this, we need two files. We can create folder store, and then here we need two files. First app state dart, and second app store dart. Okay, and the app state, we need to create class app state, and then one state. Let's assume we have a user state. Oops, we have a user state. Okay, now we need to create a store for reducer, effects like epics, and one global store. Actually, I don't remember by heart because I'm a programmer. Okay, I guess it was this here. Okay, this is our star. What we have here, we have app state reducer. Like here we will collect all the states. Like we currently have only user state. If you have like search state, explore state, upload photo state, we will just add here like upload photo, search state, like this. Really easy. And call this reducer. We will create later on this tutorial. And here we have effects like epics. We will combine in one epic here, and initial user state, initial app state here, and store. And we can use this store. We are creating here new variable like store and assigning the whole process like app state reducer, middle layers, and initial states. And now we can use this store for dispatching actions here in our application. Okay, firstly we need to install this, like add to our pubspec YAML here. Just click on add Redux to dependencies and it will add here. You can track here, it will add it. Now we need also add Redux epics. Just click add, it will add, and just remove this. Okay, I guess we're done. Now we need to create another folder, user, and here we need 3 files. First, user reducer .dart, and second, user epics .dart, and third, user services .dart. Okay, and the user reducer, we need to create class user state, and in the list all the actions. Let me show class user state. Let's assume we have like boolean is loading, and then we have message. Let's show the message. Final string message. Okay, we have loading and we have message. Okay, let's add this. This is the initial values, like loading should be false always in the initial, and message should be empty always. Yep, we need to copy this, because while updating the is loading, like we should be sure like we're pasting some value. If there is, we are not pasting, it will be null, and in case null, we are here checking double question marks, like in case null, just take the old value. Like you can click on this, like here it will go up here because it's taking the initial value. Okay, we have state. Now we need to create reducer, like actions. Let's create class get message action, and with empty. Oops, get message action with empty constructor or body. Now we need to create reducer user state get message reducer, and we need to update is loading to true because we are dispatching action, and in the application here user should see the loading indicator, like circle or 3 dots, like we should show the loading indicator. For this case we should update the is loading to true. Now we need to, after dispatching action and getting the response, we should also update our message. For this we need to create response class get message response. Okay, we pass the message here, and the reducer we just update loading. We update the loading to false because we have dispatched the response and it's done, and update the message with this message, like with the value that dispatched. Okay, in order to it should work, we need user reducer, like here, user reducer. Okay, now let's create user reducer. I forget. Okay, we have reducer user state user reducer. It's a variable, and combine reducer, like we are combining this. Because of this here we're combine reducer. Okay, it's currently red because we need to import here reducer. Now it's done. Type the reducer. Okay, it's added. we have done with reducer. Now we need to create epics. Okay, let's remove this. We have Redux epics and we have Redux Dart here imported. And yeah, we have here get message epic and this action, current action, and state here. Let's add state. Global state star. And here we are checking the action, like where action is get message action. We are checking if like this is a running, currently is dispatching get message action, call user service and get message function and get the value. From here get the value and return the value to get message response. Yeah, really simple. On get message error, we can also add the error in our reducer here. If there is some error, we can show this error also. It's also really simple, like class on get message error message, and reducer. Also we need to add here, otherwise it will not be triggered and it will not work. Just add here and it's done. Okay, now we need to import this user reducer, like here, user from folder user reducer dart. Let's remove this. Okay, now we need user service. We need service create. For this, just go to user service dart and create class user service with the function get message and delay for 1 second to simulate that we are sending the request to API, getting the response and returning the response. Currently we don't have API, so this just we need to simulate. Let's make it 2 seconds. And we will return hello world. And let's also add this user service. Okay, get message. And from here, value will be dispatched. Wait. String, okay. It's required that is. Oops. Remove this. Wait. It's weird. This, okay. Actually, we don't need this. Just remove this. Yeah, now looks better. Go back to services. Oops, epics. Yeah, now it's gone. Okay, and we need to also create stream like one epic. Let's assume like we have here combined reducer, and for epic we also need something like this, but in our case it will be effects, user effects like epics, and just add your epic here. Otherwise, just if you have this and it's empty, it will not be triggered at all. Just add here. Okay, we have reducer, we have epics, we have service. Now we can call these files here, import user effects, import. Now it's done. we have store. Let's fix this also. Okay, user state. Now we can use this Redux in our application, but how? First, we need to here connect our store provider. Yeah, we need to connect here our store provider. Let's store provider from Redux. Oops. Import Redux. No, there is something. Flutter Redux. Flutter Redux. We need to also install this because store provider is from Flutter Redux. Okay, we have store provider with our global state, and we have store here, our store. We can click on this and it goes here, our global store. Okay, our store connected. Now we can use our store, but how we can use? And here before the scaffold, just add store connector back, remove this, and just add our store connector before the scaffold. We have store connector, our global state, and current state, our user state. Let's import. It's a current state. When something changes in the user state, this will be rebuilt. Okay, we have converter, user state, and builder. Currently is user state. We can also change this, like let's assume only when the message, we got the message. For this we can do string and here called message from our user state, here this message value, and also now its value is string and message. Yes. Let's back. Okay, we will return a scaffold. Also we can we should change here, I guess, or not here. Okay, done. We have store. Okay, we have button, we have action. Now let's dispatch the action. When we click on a button, update the counter, but also dispatch the action. Just store dispatch and remove this. Get message action. It will be dispatched. And now, but after this text, like after the 7, we should show the message. For this, we can just check here. User state is loading. If it's loading, show like loader, otherwise show the message that comes from our service. Currently it's simulated, but in real world applications it will be response will come from API here. Okay, we have dispatched the action, we have everything. Let's reloading will not help here. you need to restart. Okay, it's restarted. Now you can click on a button. Here you can see loader and hello world. One more time, this loader and hello world. Yeah, that's it for today's tutorial. Let's quickly recap what we have done. We have built a simple application that uses Redux for global state management. Firstly, we create App Store for global state. All the reducers and all the effects will be here, and it will be combined for running our whole application process. Okay, here we have all the states like user state, explore state, upload photo state, and everything. And then we have for user 3 files. If you have here search state, you need also 3 files for this, like search reducer, search epics, search services. Let's go with user state. We have user reducer with initial values and with all the actions, and we have combined this. We have here epics that listens to action and calls the correct service. In our case, it's get message. We simulate API request, like delayed for 2 seconds and return the hello world. And we need also add the dependencies to PubSpec YAML, like Redux, Redux epics, and Flutter Redux. I hope you understand. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.